Morning, today is June 25th, 2019, 9 o'clock. We'll call the Floyd County Board of Supervisors regular meeting to order. The first item on our agenda is to approve our agenda, and we have a couple of notations to make before we do that.
So a couple to note would just be adding those two use of courthouse grounds applications. But then also if you could amend your agenda for a transfer for conservations. Adam is sending me an email. He usually transfer money from the general fund to the capital projects fund. And he just forgot to get that to me. And so I forgot to put it on the agenda because I didn't get it to me. I sent him an email on May 30th for it, but just didn't get anything from him. So he's going to email it to me. I haven't received it yet. If you would rather not do this, we could do it at Monday's meeting, a special meeting. But this is a typical thing that we do for the transfer. Are in the next fiscal year, but because it's a transfer rather than a claim, we could hold off till Monday if you wanted to.
So what you're saying, this isn't technically a special request, this is really an operation.
Just a
It's an
annual
annual.
operation.
It's
Fiscal year.
budgeted.
So,
He just has to provide you.
right, if it was a special request, I could see us putting it off until Monday, and then the public would have that information ahead of time.
Yeah.
But if it's a standard
It's
operating
budgeted,
procedure,
yeah,
I don't see that that's
yeah,
a major issue.
yeah. It's just you have to make the motion to approve that transfer. It can't, even though it's budgeted, it can't just happen. It has to be by motion.
So with that, I'm gonna make a motion that we amend the agenda to include transfer of funds for conservation.
You know, add
Is
the
that
other two
sufficient?
things in there too. The line request.
That we could.
And note-
that those are added within.
Okay, and note, item number 5 has been added because of timing for use of courthouse grounds.
Okay, and I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to amend our agenda to include what we have as item 5 on our agenda, review action regarding approval of application for the Floyd County Courthouse grounds for the flags, signs in the corner, and another item for conservation transfer of funds at the end of the fiscal year. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Now we'll move back to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the amended agenda.
And I'll second that.
All right, moved and seconded to approve our agenda as amended. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Public comment number 2, I'm sorry, motion carries. Public comment 2.
Good morning, good
We're all
morning.
here. Morning. All right. Item 3, review action regarding approval of June 10th and 11th, 2019 meeting minutes.
And I reviewed the minutes, and I'll make a motion to go ahead and approve June 10th and 11th, 2019 meeting minutes.
And I will second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the meeting minutes of June 10th and 11th. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 4, review action regarding approval of claims.
And I haven't had a chance to review those, and I didn't find anything out of order, so I'm going to make a motion to approve the claims as submitted.
And I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the claims as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Item 5, which is our amended one, review action regarding approval of application for use of Floyd County Courthouse grounds, one for the Relay of Life and one for the Floyd County Fair. And we've had a request from Amy Stout, I believe, for the 2 posts and a sign in the corner for the Floyd County Fair. And then
Relay for Life.
And then
Relay
she
for
will
Life.
take the Floyd County Fair one down to put the Relay for Life up. Is that the,
If the Relay for Life one isn't down when they put their one up, they'll just take it down then.
Oh,
Okay.
got it.
I think they're gonna try to coordinate it so that, you know, the fair sign is so large and the Relay for Life sign is smaller, so I think that would swallow up the other sign and they wouldn't see it, so I think they're gonna try to coordinate it.
Sounds
um,
good.
that Follow, on Saturday, the fair sign would likely be up, but today yet, the Relay for Life, they'd like to have theirs up as soon as possible.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve then the applications for both the use of the Floyd County Courthouse grounds to put up 2 different signs. One is Relay for Life and one for the Floyd County Fair.
And I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve the application for the use of the Floyd County Courthouse grounds for signs, one for Relay for Life and one for the Floyd County Fair.
I do want to clarify something before we vote on that. These signs are being put up, and we have a policy for use of courthouse grounds and signs, and they both meet that policy, correct?
I had told the Relay for Life people that there was no need to have insurance for
Okay, that's fine.
putting that sign up. I didn't think you would require that. You know,
No.
oftentimes signs get put up from realtors with open houses
Yep.
or rummage sale signs. And people who don't know that they need to do that, we could take those down if we so choose to. But the intent of the policy was to have some control.
Right. That's all I want to make
Yeah.
sure. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Okay, thank you.
So it's been moved and seconded to approve the application for the use of the Floyd County Courthouse grounds for signs. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Item 6, review action regarding appointments to various boards and commissions. And we can start with conservation, I guess. We received an application from Pete Cloverdance. You want to do one at a time or all at once? Make a difference.
You could do them all. They just, when you're, I don't know if y'all have this sheet yet, but just if you do them with their
How many
committees as
years?
well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we also had, if we go down the list, then we got civil service.
Right. Yeah, do you want to do them all at once?
Whatever's easier for you. If you, I mean, your motion could be to approve Harry White for civil service or
6-year
you
term.
renew a term for that, for conservation for Pete for his term and the 2 VA
Two for
ones.
veterans.
And I will, before we make a motion on these, I did speak with Maria on the VA, as I had mentioned yesterday. There was a good application that did come in. She wanted it well noted. But the commission, when they met on Monday, had already made a motion to go ahead and approve the ones that we're going to be talking about today. So I just wanted to well note that. She said it was very difficult because the application came in was very good.
Mhm.
So, anyway.
Well, and the thing that that people need to realize out there is that this is an ongoing board that will need people in the future, and hopefully those people will still be interested. So,
All right, trying to make sure we had this packet information of the applicants yesterday, so I was just. Okay, so with that, I will go ahead and make a motion, let's see, to appoint Harry White on the Civil Service Commission for a length of 6-year term, starting July 1st. And for Conservation Board, I would make a motion to approve Pete Cloverdance for a appointment of 5 years, starting July 1st. For the Veterans Affairs Commission, I would recommend appointment of Tim Spies again for the next, let's see, that one is 3-year term, starting July 1st. And then replacing Bill Vetter will be Gary Quint, again for an appointment of a 3-year term.
And I will second that.
It's been moved and seconded to make the appointments to the various boards and commissions as outlined by Linda. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 7, review action regarding setting the date and time for the cash count.
It didn't go over well last year when you had on the afternoon of the last day of the month, so they.
That was 2 years ago. I
2 years
think.
ago.
That was 2 years ago,
2
because
years
last
ago.
year we did meet at 8 o'clock in
Yeah.
the morning.
That's the
We
preference.
figured out it was
And
better.
it actually
It
falls
did.
under
It did.
Your
Yeah.
regular Monday meeting anyway, so
Mhm.
it's nicely that way. And this is at 8 o'clock, so you catch the money before transactions for the new year start.
So 8 o'clock is sufficiently early for them. So I'll make a motion that we do the annual cash count at 8 a.m. on July 1st.
And I'll second.
Okay. We moved and seconded to set the date and time as 8 o'clock a.m. July 1st. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 8, review action regarding fiscal year 20 salary/wage certification.
I am missing 2 departments.
Maria's working on it.
If you want to maybe hold off, I have yours, yeah.
That was a correction. There was one mistake there, so I'll make sure
Oh,
you get the right one.
okay.
Here she is. Maria, we were just on that item.
She's there. Perfect timing.
Yeah, good timing.
Mhm.
Hey, Maria?
Oh,
3% increase? 3% increase?
You know what, I'm gonna go back down, we had a road down 2.
I think that's what the board started with for budgeting, but then an email went out that they upped it to 3%.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Maybe you want to table
We can
that,
table.
that's Adams, should be coming in here soon also. Or not
You
table,
want to
but go on to some other items, and then, because I
Okay.
haven't received Adams yet.
Okay, we'll move on to item 9, review action regarding the EZ Business Card Management Agreement. We had a presentation by the Bank of Reason on this system.
So, last week was a busy week, and Smissick and I didn't get a chance to go over the credit card policy, but I still think we could get this new easy business thing implemented, because that's just, it's kind of a separate deal from the policy itself, and this, one of the things we wanted to make sure you cover is how this administratively is going to work.
Right.
So my thoughts were, if you were to approve the agreement with the Easy Business and then add to your motion that the responsibility for making those approvals for new applications or increases lie with the chair of the Board of Supervisors, and that then the administration, online administration of it is me.
Do the honor.
You said it really well. With that, I will go ahead and make a motion to approve working with the Easy Business Card Management service that was provided to us, but knowing that we still need to work through the credit card policy, it would be our recommendation that any new applicants that are to be approved by the chair of the Board of Supervisors, and that all management of that, those credit cards will still be through the auditor's office.
And I will second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve the Easy Business Card Management Agreement. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 10, review action regarding resolution number 27-19, financial reporting / capitalization policy, GASB 34.
Thank you for your feedback.
I don't know how much I helped,
We got
but
that.
yeah.
So we.
It was more her, she took care of everything, so between her and talking to Martha, and yeah. I mean, we report a lot of our GASB 34 stuff, I mean, our big projects and stuff like that, so having something, Gloria did all the legwork. So.
Okay.
So, but I think, I mean, we couldn't have done it without Dusty on some of those things. But actually, the only things that we ended up changing were the years for
Right.
infrastructure. We didn't add land improvements. Elizabeth never mentioned land improvements, although that's something that we may want to talk to her about at some point, because I don't know if they're doing land improvements with, say, conservation, or anything that might be considered land improvements, but she never mentioned that, and maybe those have just fallen under the thresholds, and so it's never been an issue. But we did change the infrastructure from 20 to 50, 30 to 50, to 10 to 65.
Yeah.
And then just put the asterisks there. Martha had showed me how in their system, the DOT system, that they add when they're adding a project, whether it's a PCC
Right.
project or whatever, it automatically populates that it's a 25-year or it's a 30-year or
Yeah, I think
whatever
that's-
that depreciation schedule is. And but we did go with the 10 to 65 because of a paving project, for example.
Yeah, I mean, it could depend. You could be doing 8 inches of concrete, you could be doing 6 inches of concrete, or you could do,
Yeah.
well, the slurry leveling, which we don't worry about too much, but seal coats or whatever, but, you know, asphalt could be 2 inch, a mill and fill like we were trying to let today, which that's not gonna happen. To T38 project, which is mill, and then put in 6 inches. So, I mean, it all varies. The more asphalt you put, the more it holds up. Same thing with PC, so. So, yeah, it could be a variety of years and depending. So when we're putting that stuff in, she'll ask me, and then I'll say, yeah, let's use this number. So,
And
it all
that,
just depends.
and that's based on, from what I understand, the guidelines set from the Iowa County Engineers Association
Correct.
and approved through the state as well as.
Yeah,
the
and like I said, that's
association.
kind of, they're going with numbers we think is gonna be suffice for what we're putting out there. You know, could it last 80 years? It might have to. Some of our roads have to last that long, even though we don't want them to. Or, you know, we want to try to get them at them sooner or better.
Yeah. So this, as Elizabeth said, you could keep it simple and just change those years, so that's the route we thought was probably the best.
I like to keep it simple.
That's what we were saying. Me
Yeah.
and Gloria,
I think
let's
we all
not
like
make it crazy. Let's just
This
kind
has
of.
nothing to do with the life of the road or the life of the equipment.
No.
It's more to keep the auditors happy.
That's exactly
It's a
right.
GASB reporting, so yeah.
Yeah, and that's the way.
GASB's about.
Right.
Well, with that, I'm going to make a motion that we approve Resolution 27-19, capitalization policy for GASB 34 reporting.
And I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 27-19, the capitalization
I know.
policy for GASB
What I feel
34
like,
report.
make a copy.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 11, Dusty, review action on bids received for B47 paving project M2019-3-A, due in the auditor's office by 9 a.m. June 25th, 2018.
I don't even know. I didn't get
You can make an ask, just to double check, but I don't think we got any bids. You know, we threw this together pretty last minute, last month, sent the stuff out about 3 weeks ago to try to get a bid. But my thinking is that, and I don't think there was any heavy, I looked at about right at 9. Yeah, because there's none, right?
Nothing.
Yeah, that the schedules probably have been pretty much set forth. A lot of times we're letting projects that's anywhere December, January, February. Well, we're already to June when we sent this stuff out to try to get bids. I'm thinking their schedules are full.
Right.
So what I'm thinking is we can do is maybe we will, obviously, we're not gonna table
Yeah.
anything, we're gonna just not, obviously we have, no because of lack of bids, it's done. But then come in and maybe go in with either, try to do early completion next year with the same project, the money's there, and/or I just look at when I'm doing my next year's budget, have that number in there and utilize this 400,000 for winter rock, whatever we've got. So, I mean, it falls under the same categories as a 461's rock, so I think this is like 4, I can't can't remember the number, 58 or something like that, where it would fall under asphalt. So it falls in the same categories where I can utilize that money for other categories. So for right now, I'm thinking we're gonna try to either talk with the contractor, see how busy they are. I think I had heard one of the local contractors was like $30 million worth of work, so me doing a 400,000, that, you know, and I thought it'd be a simple, hey, in between week job, you mill 1 week and the next week you pave it, because we're doing one lift, that they would be able to bid it, but obviously, the answer is no.
There's a DOT letting on Monday too.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, these contractors may be swamped right now
Yeah.
and full for the year, and so they didn't wanna, because I basically said, well, if we can get it done by, you know, we'll do September 3rd as a late start date right after Labor Day, and then go with 30 working days, which would get us to before November to finish. I thought maybe they could squeeze it in, but a lot of times they're probably scrambling to finish work before winter hits, so. So my thinking is, it is what it is, we'll live and learn from it, and then we'll just kind of do a reletting and maybe change the finish dates to, you know, we could do late start, whatever, in the April 15th and give them 40 working days. That would get them to finish it by July 1st next year. That would be a
A little
possibility.
bit more within their timelines.
And then see what the bids come in at, and then if we're okay with it, we could award it, and if not, we'll say, hey, maybe we just, when I'm doing budget, I need to just do it next year and then incorporate that. Not only that small stretch, because that's all the money I put in there, but see where my budget's at, and then maybe do another stretch of ground to combine it. So that's where we're at on that. I guess it's kind of live and learn, and we kind of do it together.
I guess
Yeah.
when we're ready, I plan to bring it
That
in.
you let something else, like.
Yeah, I think so.
A lot of it's weather related.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever really had it to the point, where we tried streaming it in there fast so we could get it in the fall, but I said we would have left this maybe in December, kind of one of those. And it's not that the road's terrible, but I'm trying to do 4 or 5 miles a year, so my thinking was, okay, the budget's there, let's do this, and then all of a sudden it turned into, well, maybe we rushed it a little bit. Because they probably could have bid it, but then it might have been twice the price of the city, because, hey, we're gonna do it, we're gonna get an extra crew, whatever, so. But anyway, so that's kind of where we're at on that, it'll die because we have no bids. And then we'll just move forward with either reletting sometime in the future for next year, or it'll go into next year's budget.
We'll move on to item 12 with no action. Review action on the county engineer's employment contract and agreement for July 1, 2019 through June 30th, 2020.
This was acted on yesterday in Chickasaw County. The only changes which was agreed upon in the January discussion with the review, I think, and then when, I don't know, did you guys go over there or did you do a conference call? I can't remember what it was this year.
For which part?
They did.
For reviewing with mine, or did they didn't come over here this
We
time.
did a conference call because of the weather.
We
Right.
did the conference call,
Yeah.
we just called them in.
So the only changes
Planning
was
Yeah.
the 2.5, which was agreed upon for 2.5% increase, and then we added the 20 working days, which is what the handbook follows for anybody over 15 years, and I'm at 19 years, so it upped
Right, which you talked about.
the vacation days to
Right.
4 weeks rather
Yeah.
than 3. Other than that, everything is still the same. It passed 4-1 over there. Um, that's okay, I guess. I don't have anything else other than it passed 4-1 over there, so.
Well, with that, I will make a motion that we move forward with the employment contract for Dusty as the engineer, jointly with Chickasaw County, as we've done in the past, with a 2.5% increase and addressing vacation to extend that out to 4 weeks.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the county engineer's employment contract and agreement for July 1, 2019 through June 30th, 2020. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
3 copies, 1 for each spot. What you will do, you usually keep the contract, I think, don't you?
I
Yeah.
think, if you
I give
don't
one
have
to
a
them,
contract.
I keep one,
Okay.
and then I need you
Yep.
guys keep one,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, I didn't know if you wanted me to scan one for her or something.
No, I made 3 originals, I figured it's just a simple one.
We have 4 signatures.
Okay. You didn't get into a lot of discussion why the name. the alternative stuff. But he was reviewing all the stuff that was the, oh yeah, 120 days notice if we wanted to, terminate anything, for vacation, which I thought was all agreed upon when we did the review and stuff. And I know there's other factors that I can discuss with you guys individually. Maybe that was part of it, but we didn't get into a lot of discussion. I kind of,
You're over here. Hold on.
I can take it back, but.
one copy, so she'll keep the one copy for you guys. But thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Item 13, review action regarding drainage district number 1, repairs and assessment. We got some bills in here.
Yes. You had all the originals, right?
I do. Here's all. How many papers? See why you guys like to do that electronically.
Yes.
So, lateral 1, do you have the two, Dusty?
Yeah, I got Marcus copies, yeah.
Lateral 1 is the first one.
1,151.
Yeah, that was on the west side of, if you go east town and you go south on Underwood Avenue, there it was on the west side of the road, I believe.
There's been a
Just a
lot of
repair.
problems in there before.
Yeah, yeah.
Lots of problems.
Did you see how much is there?
This one is actually fine for fund balance, so there's no need to do an assessment. So it's
So it's
just
just
Dusty
noted.
reviewing the note, what the work that was done on the
Yeah.
project.
There's sufficient fund balance to cover it?
Now,
Well, what's hanging out there is there's spreads that are out there that haven't been collected from the last assessment. We've ran the calculation and so right now the fund, on the treasurer side, the fund balance isn't there. But there's, I don't remember if these are 10-year or 20-year spreads that are out there from previous work, but we've run the calculations that even when those are paid, because those pay interest on them, that there should be enough.
Sufficient funds, okay.
before you move on to the next Drainage District 1, which is this one, that's why I just say, because of the discussion on it. I did get a call from a farmer out there, and do you remember about 2 or 3 years ago, we went through and put a new tile line across and did some tree work. This is where the old
Just
trailer
west
park
of the
is.
airport a little ways?
Yes,
Yeah.
yep, on the south side.
Okay.
Well, same thing here, Victory Avenue, there is a bunch of tile that is plugged in trees and all that. And I told the landowner, which was Ryan Schrader, had talked to our guys, and it's more work than we can handle.
Mhm.
So I don't know if we need to,
Put it together and have a little bit of letting.
another letting and figure out the tiles in there, or is it a big enough one to, it's gonna be more than probably, what's the limit on doing the local thing, those public hearings at 25,000?
Yeah.
This is a bunch of trees, they said, and
And I
it's,
see where that's at.
yeah.
I see.
We did that work a couple years ago right in there, south of that
Right.
house,
Oh,
and that's
I
just
see.
east of there.
Okay.
But it's waterlogged everywhere, there's trees, it's running above the ground, I think that
Yeah.
whole tile line's going across there. I don't know if it's something that's too big for even me throwing in, do we need to get the consulting firm involved, I don't know. I probably can go measure up some areas, maybe get an estimate first, and then if we can do the local lighting, like we did the one that was just
Right.
downstream of that with, is it Maven? Maven or something?
Could be.
A couple of years ago, there was a couple other ones we did. We did one further down the middle field, and now 2 years ago, we did the
Yeah.
one that was just south of that house,
Okay,
when the landowners came in on that one.
okay.
So, I don't know if you guys want me to just kinda, we can go measure up tree areas, because that whole thing is shot apparently, and it all runs above ground. Here, where the 2 red dots were, it's above ground. I can do that, at least, and maybe get an estimate, and if it's more than what really that limit is, I don't know if we need to get anybody else involved, or if we just have
I
a public
think that
hearing.
sounds wise, just go ahead and see if you can get an estimate on it.
Okay, okay. We'll go measure up some areas and some trees and let the landlords know that we need
Right.
to do something, and then it would just be. I told him, I said it's not gonna happen overnight by any means, so we have to farm. It's been wet too, that doesn't help. So I'll just move forward
It's
with that.
everywhere.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
is.
Just so you guys are aware of it all, kinda. See what we do for an estimate. If it comes up too big, it may be where we have to get a consulting firm that's been doing the other things involved, but. That's all I had on that, number one, I guess.
Okay. Well, I'll entertain a motion for number one.
There actually, so there isn't a assessment, unless you want to do the motion to ask him
To get an estimate.
to give an estimate.
Is that in number one, or is that?
That is part of one.
That's
itself.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So there was a work order, that work was completed.
right,
But
that was a
now
step
there's
on
another
under,
issue.
well, there's just, that's why I said we don't need to do anything else, we'll just talk about that. So,
Yeah, and actually, through your normal operation, you would get an estimate, you're just looking for some,
yeah,
yeah.
if you want me to do that. And I said if it gets too big, then it might be where we
Yeah.
have to talk to
Right.
a consulting firm, so. And I'll just keep you guys posted then.
We're going back to that, we want to approve payment for the repairs on one.
No, that happens in your claim, that's already happened when you approved your claims.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just the assessment if you needed to, but
Increase it, but what we
We
don't
don't
need
need
to,
an
so
assessment.
But we
there's.
don't
Okay.
need an
I mean, if
assessment.
you wanted to assess that amount, you could, but you wouldn't need to. And especially if you've got another project coming up, then
This
you
is the
definitely
first,
don't need
we
to
got the
assess.
second item, no action.
It is.
Item 14, review action regarding drainage district 17 repairs and assessment.
This 17's out by 7 Mile Corner, out west of town. And I think it was just a tile line that was busted. So we went there and repaired it and
Okay.
The note on that says basically the same thing, there was a balance there that covered that.
Yeah, again, if you want to assess, you can, there's.
But there is $243
This-
remaining according to the
This
note.
leaves $243, so.
Okay.
Okay. Mark that down, no action.
No action.
15, review action regarding drainage district number 25 repairs and assessment.
And this one, I believe, was up north of Rudd. Yeah, north of Rudd. and then-
1548 Hickory Avenue.
Yeah, so you go north of Rudd, a mile and a half, and then east and then back north. Basically about the same thing, just repairing tile. Intake. That's it. On the east side of the road, I think. So.
So this is just saying we have $93.31.
Correct.
Wow, this is like
Well-
first.
Oh,
I don't
yeah, we
remember
don't have to
ever
do any
since I've been on
assessments.
board.
For what's that?
That,
No,
since I've been
no
on, that
action.
we're not sitting there taking action, you know,
Oh,
to increase.
you can always
I
assess,
know,
you, I mean.
I know.
you
It's a good feeling,
It is a
Linda.
good feeling, but normally they're coming in saying, we have no choice but to
Right.
take action on these, so.
Right.
Well,
is a
it
good
just shows that us leaving some balance in those accounts has
It
paid
helps.
off.
It's
Yes,
Yeah, have no
feeling. And I
action.
like that.
yes.
Item 16, discussion with the county engineer regarding secondary road activities.
Wait, what are you assessing on this one?
Well, we didn't have to.
No, that one's got negative.
Which one does?
The,
25?
25.
See what,
Oh, yes, number 25. And it's got a negative
You only had one out of
$690.77.
three.
Darn it.
Hey, we
Needed to be
were
assessed.
going 3 for 3
No,
now.
I thought you were
No.
coming, well, we had two.
Wait a minute.
We're short
All right,
$690.
back to item 16. We
so then
need,
it's a matter of how
Current
much do
balance
we
is
want to increase?
$93, yeah, the project is $784, so you're negative $690, so you need to do an assessment on this one.
So how much work usually is on 25?
that's the one
Each
up
year it
there.
depends.
There's some big,
I can look it up.
I can even tell you, it usually just as it comes up.
I
we
mean,
go
some of
fix
these
them.
we know that it's pretty common that there is work being
Yeah.
done. I don't like keeping them too low.
Looks like maybe the last one was in,
they all need work.
Yeah, actually.
I'm not sure.
But if we don't leave a balance of $700 or
How much?
$800 in one, then the balance really isn't doing us much good.
Well, and that's why I'm just wondering if 2,000, you know, would that suffice?
Probably, I would think for a simple, if we, for at least one more simple repair or something, or second two maybe.
Okay.
2,000.
So I could go ahead and make a motion then to assess drainage district 25 to increase that fund to 2,000 and also allowing it's a 5% with a 10-year spread.
Yes.
Is it-
Well, yeah, for 10.
Interest rate 5% and the spread of 10 years.
10 years.
Right.
Correct.
Okay, I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to assess the drainage district number 25, the sum of $2,000 with a interest rate of 5% and a spread of 10 years. All
For assessments over 500.
over $500 amount. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. So now we are on to item 16, discussion with the county engineer regarding secondary road activities.
Let's go to the big project, 170th Street Bridge. Yesterday, they poured the upstream posts for the open ramp and half of the downstream posts. That's how many forms they have. That's just the posts that hold up the whole open rail top. There'll be
It's just 170.
170th Street Bridge, yeah. So they're forming up the upstream, I say upstream because the bridge is crooked, so I don't want to say west, east, and whatever, so I'll just say upstream side. They're forming the rail right now. They should have that poured, I think, by 2 o'clock today. I think they're going to be 2 o'clock is concrete call. And then they'll be taking the forms off the other posts to finish the other posts on the downstream side, have that done also. So that tomorrow then they can strip the open rail and move over to the downstream side open rail. So then that would probably be pretty close to the last of the concrete.
That's great.
Yes, that much
took a
closer.
look at it. It's
Um,
looking good.
There's probably about a week's worth of dirt moving and rip wrapping left on it. And then we still have to seed some, do some other little cleanup work and stuff like that. So, you know, my guesstimate to be done by the end of July probably is gonna hold, third week in July. But there again, it depends on when we get a little bit of rain, like we had over the weekend, then it turns to slop. So it's just like all the rest of the gravel roads up there. But as we get closer, I can keep you guys posted when it's open. But I just opened a bridge in Chickasaw County that we did everything except for the seeding, but we opened it anyways because it was over the winter too. So we're just gonna seed it under traffic, so. And then they will be breaking down their cranes and moving to 195th Street for that bridge over north of the fairgrounds, 1 mile back west. Hanko's the same contractor. Hoping that next week or week after.
Right?
Yeah, yep, 100-foot slab. Drive the pile on that. Get that done so that the power company can tilt their poles back. We had to pay them to move those poles or lean them, which is a lot cheaper than they really got. Out there spot rocking, I mean, I don't know, I've never seen a year like this where they've maybe taken this long as will before, but not nearly this long where the whole road's a big deal. And you get 3/10 of an inch or half an inch like it did on Saturday, and everything that we bladed and we're, corn
I
time,
couldn't
people
believe
got
it
haul on.
between one day and the next.
Yeah.
Driving the same gravel road,
Yep,
the
yep.
difference that it made.
And we blade them flat, or tried to right now, knock them down. And it's, we were gonna start contract rock this week, but we pushed it back to next week now. I started, because I think they're working with me in Chickasaw too, we started contract over there, but I was getting truck stuck yesterday on the roads, and I've never seen that this late in the year for contract rock, but I said we gotta get the rock on there.
Yeah.
So they're gonna continue to blade, we get the calls, I get it, and we're gonna keep hauling rock when we can, spot rocking, it's just what it is. Patching on Underwood,
Is it done?
there should be about 3-4 more days worth left. There's a couple spots that were left. He was kind of working around our bridge.
Were they signed, but they don't know if they're working?
Yeah, they weren't working yesterday or today, but they'll be back tomorrow. There was a couple days he pulled off, and when we did the bridge deck and all that stuff, there was a couple days in there where we didn't overlap, we didn't want it to, it was too far running between. But that estimate, we had about $50,000 worth of work. We probably did 2.5 times that. We did about $120,000 worth of
There
work.
was
That
a
road was-
lot of patching.
Yeah.
That road
I
was
can't-
poured on dirt, wasn't it?
A long
time
not
ago.
sure. The only thing that we're finding though with these patches, Dwayne was telling me that because he's the one on there inspecting it, and some of that concrete's only 4 inches thick. And it was supposed to be, I think, 6, so I don't know. if that's part of the problem we're running into, but we're going back in.
That was the
seven.
last job for that company, they went bankrupt right after that.
Okay. So, yeah, it's,
Well, it's true.
That's interesting.
but all that work needed to be done, you
That
know,
was
so
in
that
the
was part,
80s.
we did.
It was in the 80s.
So, yeah, we did, first estimate was 45,000, now the second estimate was 70,000. So it needed to be done, it'll just save us for next year. I might not have to do anything next year, but we'll see how things kind of hold up. But it definitely, they did an excellent job, I think.
They did a great job.
Yeah,
Good.
so.
It's a lot smoother.
And then that north end of T38, from talking to the Mitchell County engineer, that should open today, I think. If they didn't open yesterday late, the T30, their project.
Yep.
We did our, at 152 feet into the county because we were bad there and ours cost 16 grand. But in taking out the prices that we thought was gonna do with our project next year, it's about the same thing, about 20 grand. So we just saved us a little bit on next year's project on that.
And they did do that with concrete.
Yes, they did. They joked like when we do the next, how many miles into Floyd County, and I'm like, oh, it's not gonna be concrete, but.
Well, I talked to the supervisor, it continually reminds me that Floyd County needs to do their concrete.
The compactor has been hooked up out at the collection site, the new one.
Okay.
That was part of that
Is there
bill
a
that went
bump?
through. What's that?
Is there a butt to that?
No, it's good, it's good, it's good. So that was good, took a day, you know, just that morning. I think they only did, you know, kicked like 6 or 7 people not to put the trash in that morning. Because they were there at 8:30 and then they got done by 11 or 12, so a couple of you just decided to come back later or whatever. That's good. Getting stuff, we have a short section of concrete south of Rudd, that's bad on the hill there, just by the intersection, south of the bridge, it's south of the avenue.
Right there.
And been pulling the quick plans together for that, and I think we're gonna try to let that July 9th, but you see what happened on my asphalt ones, we'll see what happens if the concrete people can squeeze in a short stretch. Basically, we close the road and have them, you know, pave that, it's about a 500-foot stretch in there, that's bad. Just to eliminate one headache of a portion of that road. So we'll see, that's gonna be a July 9th letting, and we'll see if they can do the same and come in and see, we'll get bids, I don't know. They may not, so. Can't think of anything else. Pavement markings will be this year, we still haven't heard when they're gonna be coming in yet, but that'll be sometime, I think late start date is in July here. That's all I got. Going on with projects, get project ready for next year. Day labor stuff will start after July 1st, which we have that lighting we had on the county line. PCI got that one over on the northeast part of the county.
You've heard a little commotion about a easement down in the, right north of the fairgrounds. What's that, Packard?
Packard?
Tony, that easement has nothing to do with Floyd County, does it? That
I am not sure, I have not heard anything. I might have been on the-
Tony Schulberger, you weren't copying out those emails?
I
Okay.
don't think so.
He's up in the US side.
The state?
No, I'm sorry.
Isn't that on 14?
Well, 14 and
Packard's going north?
Packard, right on that corner.
Okay.
And there's an easement issue with CenturyLink.
Oh, okay.
CenturyLink. And I don't know if that got into.
I didn't hear anything about it.
I told him I'd ask you about it, but I don't think it's got anything to do with Floyd County. It's an easement between the landowner and the.
Landowner and,
Right.
And I-
Utility.
I think that easement originated back in 1990 when they widened, cut that hill down
okay.
way back.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything on that.
Yeah, they would have. And I think they moved that cable in and somehow wandered over too far and bothers his house, but,
Oh.
so you.
No,
You
sure, nothing
nobody's
on
got-
that, yeah,
okay.
nobody's contacted me or anything like that. Well, I can't think of anything else, you guys just keep plugging along. Work orders, I mean, we're doing crossroad pipe, a couple that need to be relayed and stuff like that. That's about it.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on stuff.
With that, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
So we have,
You gotta go back to.
We're adjourned.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
thank you.
right, that's right.
what, we gotta go back to item number 8.
Wages
All the
and
way back to
conservation.
item.
Wages
Totally
and
forgot
You do.
about that.
Item 8,
All right.
So we have,
which is
Yeah, we
evaluation
have.
regarding
I love it.
fiscal
Yeah,
year.
we get so
20
engrossed in all of these
salary,
items,
wage,
it's
and-
like-
Do that.
yes, so now we have them all.
Can't do that.
They should be good.
We have to pay our people after July 1st.
The wages are here. The only other thing you need to do, also don't forget, is the transfer for conservation. I emailed Adam's information to you on
Okay.
that. But, so your wages should look at, there's just a couple that I'll just work with the departments. They've got like a buck or two, a couple bucks too high, nothing major, but we'll fix those.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So with that, you need a motion to approve the salary wages
To
as
certify.
certifications as presented. And I'll make that motion.
Okay, I will second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the wage salary, fiscal year 20 salary/wage certifications. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. So we'll call it item 18, which is the transfer of conservation funds at the beginning of the fiscal year.
Right. So I sent that to you, I forwarded his email to you, and, and I'm gonna, so he's got a total of 45,000.
For whatever reason, mine doesn't want to open.
Well,
Oh, it does, he has it in publisher. That's probably why y'all probably don't have
I
publisher.
have two things. Yeah.
So, let me. I'll save it as a QPDF and then you'll be able
Okay.
And then I've also sent you the budget that limits you, you won't be able to give him everything that he's asking for. So, there, you should get that. So he's showing camping fees totaling $18,276, land rent totaling $16,573, facility rent of $1,291, and he's got some miscellaneous refunds and credits, donations type thing of $9,000. Let me look at his. Let me do a detailed report, because some things he's not eligible to carry over.
Are these funds that were addressed in the 19 budget here?
Yeah. That's, so if on the spreadsheet that, or the PDF that I gave you, on the, towards the bottom of that, there's an amount of 40,200, I believe. That's the most you would be able to give to him. So he's got miscellaneous things, like revenue from the insurance claim. You've amended for that, he shouldn't get that.
Credits and donations.
Yeah, that
Right.
he's got a whole bunch of things listed there, but he's not eligible. You can't, The insurance, you increased his budget for the insurance premium, so you can't transfer that. I think if you could give me if you could recess for about 5 minutes, I could probably work through what he's provided and,
Well, the reason I mention that is because in the 20-year budget, we actually addressed his revenues and how that was going to be.
this is
affected.
fiscal year 19.
This is-
This is the 20-year budget.
19.
This is the
The
19,
year
that's
we're
why,
in.
that's why I asked that. This is the 19-year budget.
19, yeah.
Okay.
That's why we have to do it, yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, not this
That's
one.
why I asked that question.
Hi. So are you in recess?
Hmm,
You are in recess now, then?
we are. Are you ready?
So, I've come up with some differences in numbers with Adam, but that's, we don't have the June's revenues in yet, so there probably are some. And I know in past years, you would budget so much, but then, you maybe have more collected, but you've only budgeted so much. So he's requesting 45,887. You're limited to the 40,200 that's budgeted for a transfer.
We're gonna make a transfer as budgeted.
You can't exceed that amount.
Yeah, exceeds either.
Unfortunately, IBM is here working on our AS400, so I can't print the latest report to see anything more that has come in. So I would just recommend that you do the 40,200 because there have been years where he's been shorted as well. I presume that there's some credits and some donations in that 9,747 number that typically aren't included. So I guess I would say you probably have a couple of options. You can't do more than the 40,200 anyway.
40,200.
40,200 is what was budgeted. But typically, you don't do those miscellaneous things. So if you take the miscellaneous off,
9,747.
if you take the miscellaneous off, you're,
What would that be?
8,743 minus 9,747.
But some of the miscellaneous.
36,140.
Yeah, how much?
36,140. Typically, all you do is the camping, land rent, facility
Right.
rents. But sometimes you have been short on what's budgeted to what was collected. But that's typically the intent of this from years past was allowing them to have those fees that they collect at their parks and that type of thing. So again, you've got, the most you could do is 40,200. If you take off those miscellaneous, it's 36,140. If you want to talk to him and see if he can tell you what some of those 9747 expenses are.
Yeah, because there may be some of
I
the,
just can't look them up.
No.
there may be some of the miscellaneous that's applicable to this.
I doubt it,
You doubt it?
yes.
I mean, he would have bucketed them into one of the other.
They would have gone in those categories of
Yeah.
camp fees, land
Okay.
rent, facility rent.
Right.
And, I'm thinking, I know we did get the insurance check, but you shouldn't get that insurance check because that was amended in the budget, so you don't get that missing. So if you want to make a call to him and see what the 9,700 is.
Yeah, can we try and get him on the phone just to make sure before we...
Or we can table it, make a special meeting Monday and get it right.
Either way.
I mean, I'd like to hear what the 9,747 is.
Mhm.
I guess that's just my thoughts, before we make that decision.
Anyway, give him a call quick.
Of course, we might be catching them off guard too, that, depending on if
He just put it together, so we should, I mean, he just.
Can we
emailed it
try
to us,
and
so
see
we
if we
should
can
have
want to
something.
follow that? Yeah, let's just, then it'd be done.
Floyd County Conservation, this is Adam.
Hey, Adam, you've got Gloria and the board. We've
Oh,
got,
hi.
hi. Hey, thanks for sending that information for the transfer. We've got a question on what the, I can't get into our AS400, they're doing service on it right now, so I can't pull reports. Can you tell us what the miscellaneous 9,747 is?
Well, I'm actually out in the field now. I'd have to go back up to the Poplar Prairie Center and see what you're talking about.
Okay. Would you recall, was any of that insurance check?
What was the amount on it?
You just have a total, it says refund credits and donations, 9,747.
I'd have to go look at the office.
Okay. All right.
Okay, well, we
Okay.
appreciate it, Adam, thank you.
Want me to call you guys back?
Well, the board is limited to what's budgeted, and that's the 40,200. So we can't do the whole 45,000 anyway. But typically, what is transferred is the camping, land rent, and facility rent. But you've got the miscellaneous on there.
Yeah, I'm not positive what that is. If we sold something or what we did on that. I have to look down. It's been so much meshed together, I have to have paperwork.
I say we table it and wait until Monday, we'll make a special meeting and do it right.
Sure, with me.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
All right, so
Well-
Adam, if you can get that information.
Yeah, for sure.
and
Yeah,
then
there's no hurry on it,
and
we'll wait
then
until Monday and
We'll
do it.
wait till
Well,
Monday.
Monday's the last we can do it, though.
Right.
Because we have to close out the year.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, if you can get that to us sometime, we'd appreciate it.
Well, I mean, you guys are gonna be in the meeting for a little bit, I can get right back to you.
Well, this is the last item on our agenda, so.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I'm down here with the state, so I'd have to get up there and look it up, so you guys might as well wait if you can.
Would Amy know if we called up to the center?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
let's just call Amy then.
yeah,
We can pull her in on a conference call if you want to be a part of it.
yes.
Okay, hang on just a second. Of the year.
Floyd County Conservation, this is Amy.
Hey Amy, this is Gloria and the Board of Supervisors. Hang on just a second.
Okay.
Okay, Adam, do we have you?
Yes.
Okay, Amy, you there?
Yep.
Hey Amy, we were wondering, could you pull up what, I'm not sure if you prepared this document for Adam with miscellaneous, or with the revenues?
Yeah.
Could you tell us what, our system is down for the moment, could you tell us what the 9,747.30 is from?
The miscellaneous.
Was that this year? That was last year's figure. Wasn't it?
We should be doing revenues for this year.
Yeah, this year it was only, let me look, let me get it, it's on my desktop here. This year it was only like 204.71
So are you providing revenues from the current year or from last year?
for 18-19.
Okay.
Isn't that the year we're in, 18-19?
Well, I just noticed the letter says 17, or it says 17, 18.
Oh, did,
Did we send her the wrong one?
I was gonna say, did you get the?
You know what? It's dated June 25th, 18. That's why we're so.
That's why we're
Ah.
off.
Okay, do you want me to email you this one?
That would help.
That would be great.
I emailed her last year. Will you email her last?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
I can do
wonderful.
that.
And if you have
Well, that's
miscellaneous on there, can you tell us what those miscellaneous are?
The 204.
We don't know what it is.
We don't
whatever
know,
it
we
is.
have,
How much? It's only a couple $100.
Yeah, it's only a couple $100. I will have to go back through all the receipts to tell you what that is.
Well, just if it's, is it donations, is it just a compiled amount of whatever it is?
Okay, hang on. Yeah, I'll have to look through the entire folder because it's,
What's your
What's
total? What's your total on that?
hang on, 204.71, I think.
What's
I'm
your-
patching it here real quick.
Okay.
Just make sure it's the right one before I send.
it's a lot different than 9,000.
Yeah, I was like, I can't even
Yeah,
get close to it.
204.71 is this year, so I'm gonna hit send. Hopefully you'll get it in a second.
Okay.
Okay, it's on my end, it's sent.
Okay. Now, okay. So it's, now we're at a total of 38,595.59.
So we're under the 40.
Yeah, so
Say it again, 38,000.
38,595.99, which we can only transfer whole numbers also.
Yeah.
So Gloria,
Yeah,
did I send you last year?
yeah, you did.
Oh my goodness.
I couldn't come up with anything even close to it. That makes much more sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
sorry about that.
So then, yeah, I would assume that that 204 was probably just,
I can pull the file out. Like you said, it's gonna take a minute because they're not.
They're in their last agenda item. They're gonna break for today, so.
Oh, okay.
and I can't get on our system. But if it's like refunds on, like I've seen in the past, different things like refund on a claim that was paid, those wouldn't qualify. Donations would be up to the board if they want to have those go, but if they're for a specific thing that was already paid for out of 22, then those shouldn't go. Be included.
Oh, okay. Well, let me just.
So we do the 38,595 minus the
Just move
204.
it if we can, or rewrite it up or find out what that is by Monday, I guess.
Typically, it's just the camping fees, land rent, and facility rent that shifts over.
Right.
So one of them I can tell you right off the bat is Heidi received a scholarship to attend a conference.
Okay, and was the conference,
$109.
was the conference paid for out of Department 22? Anything else?
Yeah, it would have been paid out of her.
Yeah, so that wouldn't qualify.
Mm-mm. No.
I think we just do the camping fees, land rent, facility, and not the facility.
So 38,590.
But just,
Plus the 247.
So we've got 38,391.
Is that what the math is? I haven't done the math. Okay, are you good with that?
Mm-hmm.
38,391?
That looks like the right number to me.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yes.
So I'll make a motion that we,
Yes.
Okay, we're good, you guys.
okay.
Okay, thank you
Thanks.
both.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Good call.
so I'll make a motion that we do the transfer of funds for conservation for their revenues of 38,391.
And I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the transfer of funds for conservation at the 38,391 requested. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Uh,
Motion carries. Now we are at
Now
we are
item
good to go.
17.
Sorry
I
about
will
that.
go
You wanna
ahead.
do
No.
another?
I can do another one.
No
I'd be-
action
I'd be
things?
happy to, no.
Bye.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And I'll second that.